Oftentimes in television, people see characters that are appealing to them, or what people online call literally me characters. Characters like Jinx, Driver, Joker, and Darth Vader are morally evil, but what it is about them that people find themselves empathizing with these characters? This is called a villain paradox, where the antagonist exists outside societal morality, yet somehow audience find them fascinating. Because these villains, they don't live up to society telling them what's right for them or what's wrong. They just do things that breaks all societal norms. These characters are rebellious evil, yet the pillars they stand on tell something about us as society. They may or may not have fascinated us, but they do play an important role in our life, because when we see a villain being mistreated, abused in childhood, or even felt unfair treatment from the world, we start noticing ourselves in them. We start connecting with them and feeling immense amount of empathy for them that comes from our darkest parts that just want to be understood and loved. In this video, we'll discuss 5 archetypes of villains and what made them fascinating. The Fallen One. The Fallen One is arguably the most agonizing archetype of a villain. The fall doesn't just happen instantly or for no reason. It usually takes time and for reasons that couldn't be ignored. The fall doesn't just make them morally bad, it rewrites all of their ideologies, morals, whether they were compassionate in the past, kind, or caring. After the fall, they become cruel, unidentifiable, and a nihilist. They drive against every pillar of what they fought for in the past. They become relentless, their morality declines. Usually, they are broken by crushing disillusionment, a moment where they look at the system, the gods, or the institution they bled for, and realize it is all fundamentally corrupt, hypocritical, or indifferent to suffering. They sacrifice their innocence, their love, and their sanity to protect something, only to be betrayed by the very thing they guarded. Anakin Skywalker, a name everybody knows, he is the fallen one, the man who turned to dark side just to save the girl he loved. He was the fallen one not because he chose to act for woman he loved, but for he believed something as love could be saved by those that knows nothing about love. Maybe he loved her or not, but he sure became something Padme didn't recognize. And to be honest, this archetype of villains are my favorite also. The intellectual. This archetype of villains are very fascinating. Usually, villains in this archetype are not villains but rather anti-hero or anti-society. These anti-heroes have immense intellect that becomes a curse for them to handle. They became too smart to enjoy life, they go against the systems and develop a philosophy of cynicism and pessimism. Anton Chigurh, a villain who highly believes in the philosophy of determinism, that is, the philosophical doctrine that all events, including human actions and choices, are completely determined by previously existing causes. He always tosses the coin before killing someone. He was a psychopath murderer and probably the best depiction of a psychopath murderer in fiction.
Who the hell are you? You know. You all know exactly who I am. Say my name.
I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are.
I'm the cook. I'm the man who killed Gus Fring.
Bullshit. Cartel got
You sure? That's right. Now, say my name. Heisenberg. You're goddamn right.
Breaking Bad gave us one of the most best and highly intelligent villains of all time. Walter White, a man with huge mind and huge ego, when he learned he was dying from cancer and started to sell meth with one of his students, Jesse Pinkman, who was also very intelligent, Walter White built an empire, became known as Heisenberg in the market. He may have started this to provide for his family after he's gone, but the game of malice and evil provided him undeniable pleasures that he started doing it for the fun of the game. Quoting Walter himself, I did it for me, I liked it, I was good at it, and I was alive.
That you did this for the family.
I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. Ellie, I was alive.
He confessed to his wife that he did it for himself. This show is proof that intelligence met with greed and pride can make a person do. Walter White didn't have a perfect ending, or if I say he didn't deserve it, he directly or indirectly had destroyed countless lives. But we can empathize with him to say, I was even rooting for him. This connection makes us human. We won't feel so good or think so good if there was a real Walter White around us. But fiction makes us realize the darker aspects we hide or emotions we suppress to get a cathartic response by connecting with characters like these. The Messiah. This archetype includes villains who think they are Messiah to save the world, but they take extreme pathways often seen as cruel and degrading. Thanos wanted to destroy half of the world for he believed it to be necessary to save people from starvation, societal collapse and more evil. You'll find so many people agreeing with him on that whatever cruel decision has to be made, if it's serving good, it should be made. So was Thanos right? I don't know, it's subjective, but I think the path he chose was absolutely wrong. We really cannot do much about society or whatever injustice is happening in it, but we can become more kind and loving and caring for people around us to restore their hope in humanity. They say joy is the resistance and love is the cure. The things these villains forget. So they take a very cynical lens on the world which makes them suffer over people. Same with Big Brother from George Orwell's novel 1984, one of the most famous examples of a villain who claims to protect humanity. Although he represents a brutal and oppressive regime, the party argues that its control is necessary to maintain peace, order and stability. Citizens are constantly watched, their thoughts are monitored, and individuality is crushed in the name of creating a perfect society. Big Brother embodies the danger idea that freedom can be sacrificed for security. He is terrifying not because he wants chaos, but because he believes absolute control is the only way to save humanity from itself. The devil. Empty, cruel, evil, and monstrous, yet they amaze us. If this morally evil character ever written that's also terrifying, it has to be Johann Liebert. Not for what he does, but for why he does. He is a monster with no heart and no moral criteria. Johann Liebert is a serial killer, but like any other serial killer, he doesn't have any motive. For he believes that human life doesn't matter and we are all equal on death. This nihilistic view caused him to kill many people, and what's even more fascinating is that nobody who tried to find him can prove he is real. He is like the devil. Those who have seen him even says that they have seen the devil himself. With his intelligence and no purpose to justify his killing, Johann Liebert is the devilish villain ever written. But at the same time, people find him fascinating because he is precise and the way he was written still leaves an impact on those who have seen this show. I highly recommend you to watch Monsters, or if you've seen it, tell me what you think of it. Lastly, we have The Shadow. Same skills, intelligence of a protagonist, yet the purpose differs. Joker was an antagonist with same skills as Batman or even better, but Joker's purpose was to prove that civilization rules are an illusion and everyone can be corrupted. His goal was not to gain political power or money, but to show the world how hollow our desire for more is. And this desire for more will ruin us, though the pathways he took was incredibly nihilistic. We can understand his reasons. He was abused as a child, and traumas from his childhood made him adapt the extreme philosophy of nihilism. Quoting Joker, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
And sometimes I think Joker was right. Seeing the world which is eating the poor people struggling and struggling, that's why it's a villain paradox. We don't want to appreciate these acts of evil, yet we are forced to, not because the villains are right, but because who were supposed to protect us, our superheroes, are gone corrupt. Villains see through them and see how hollow their greed is. They see those heroes don't care about its people, and at some point we find it true. If fiction teaches us one thing, it is that not often villains are wrong. They are humans internally filled with trauma, abuse. They see through the cruelty of society, but the path they took goes against the traditional sense. Maybe they are wrong, or maybe they are right, but one thing for sure, they are amazing.